Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to Scrapping on a Ship. I am continuing to scrapbook photos from the trip that MK and I did in the Caribbean on a Royal Caribbean ship where we taught basically an album. And we had a lot of fun. We did this in February. We are actually doing it again next February with a whole different album and everything. So if that's something you might be interested in, there's a link down below. You can check that out. I have been scrapbooking these photos since, well, I scrapbooked a few when we got back, and then I scrapbooked all month long in May, and I am just going to continue going, although I don't plan on doing a video every day, so I just want to let you guys know that right off the bat. I have some other things that I need to focus my attention on as well as my scrapbooking. So I will probably be doing 3, maybe 4 videos a week for the month of June, and probably through July also, before we get into 31 days of cut files in August, which I'll be hopefully doing a video every day. Plus, I'm gone for part of the time in July because we are doing another cruise with our spouses. So that's going to be really fun and very different. So anyway, I am using a piece of paper that I did earlier in May. I used a textile and I put paint on it and I created this print. I did 2 sheets at the same time so I would have it a little bit of repetition in my album and you would see it in more than one place. And that is what this is. I will try to link up the video where I actually created this so that you can click on it at the very end of this video, and that should be easy to get to. So these are photos from us actually teaching. I actually already did a layout about our classroom, but it was more focused on the participants, whereas this time I wanted to focus on the actual teaching process that MK and I did. So the photo of the 3 of us, it's me, MK, and Joni. Joni was our counterpart. She handled a lot of the administrative stuff for the trip and whatnot like that. And actually, truth be told, it was really all her idea. So thank you for that, Joni. And so then the rest of the photos are kind of us in action teaching, and we split the album in half and came up with a cohesive album that worked well together, even though we have different styles. And while she was teaching her pages, I was creating them so that we could kind of show the process as we went, and vice versa. So that's what I'm doing, sitting at the desk, and then there is a photo of her at, I think there's a photo of her at the desk. Yeah, there's a photo of her at the desk, and me walking around and teaching, and then our 2 finished layouts side by side. And yeah, I just wanted to document that. It's our first trip, our first time teaching like this. We've taught online classes before, but we've never taught on a ship or a whole album or anything like that. So I wanted to document it, and I'm really documenting this one in great detail. I'm probably going to have 3 albums of it. I know it's kind of weird, kind of silly, but you know, it brings me joy. So that's what I'm doing. So I've got the text print, which has been used in varying other places of the album. I had extra papers, not every paper, but I had extra papers of some of the papers that we used in the album we did on the trip. And then I pulled more papers from my stash that I thought went well with it. And then I have pulled out varying other embellishments because I don't have a lot of embellishments left from the collection that we used on the ship, but I have other embellishments that I am just adding to it. So my title for this one is going to be Teaching Moments, and I am going to use that scripty moments at the very bottom of the black thickers there. And then I wanted something that was not scripty. I wanted kind of a blocky font or a straight up and down kind of a font. And so I found these stickers that are glittery, kind of a little bit of a rose gold color to them, more towards the orange than the pink. And I thought they went well because in the conference room, it had this wood paneling that gave everything a very orange glow to it. And so I thought I'll just go ahead and play off of that. It's a little bit hard to match everything else up because of that. It's very it's a very prevalent color in all of these photos. So I thought the blue worked really well because we've got the blue layouts that we're holding. We're both wearing navy blue shirts, and so I thought that works well. And then the wood grain we've also used throughout the album in other places. So that is something I'm just carrying through here and there, so it gives continuity throughout. Those little stack of suitcases, I am going to use those, and those are really old. It's from a cut apart sheet from P13, and it's several years old, and I'm going to use that because I'm going to talk a little bit about bringing all the supplies for the class. We packed a lot in our suitcases, including, I think I brought 10 or 11 kits in my suitcase. Joni had 10 or 11 kits in her suitcase, and they were heavy, you guys. They were like, I think 34 pounds altogether. So I wanted to kind of just mention that as well. What you saw me doing there with a little mixed media was I had a piece of sheetrock tape, and I just got this from a friend of mine. I happened to be at her crop, and she was going to toss it, and I was like, ooh, I'll take that. And so it's a little bit tacky, as in sticky, not as in tacky, like not cool. So I just used that with a little bit of pumice stone ink and rubbed it through just above or just around my entire layout, not coming in from the edges of the white paper, but coming out from the other layers of the paper that I've piled on top. And I think it looks really nice. It's really hard for you guys to see it on camera. At least I can't see it very well, but my screen is kind of small, so maybe if you're using a larger computer then and your full screen, maybe you'll be able to see it. But hopefully you can see it in the close-ups a little bit, but it just gives a little tiny bit of texture to the paper. It's not adding a ton, just a tiny bit. Now I am having to Frankenstein my letter H together. I found an F and an I, and I cut the top of the F off and created an H because I am really just using this. It's not a full complete alphabet. There were just random words on this sticker set, like paradise and yeah, I don't even know what else was on there. Good times, and so I'm just like pulling things off of here, and that's the only letter I had to butcher, surprisingly. I thought I'd go ahead and use these leaves. They look a little bit tropical, like a lot of the tropical leaves I've got going on throughout the layout, although most of the other ones are not sparkly. They are green, but this is going to work. So I will use, try to use them again in another portion of my layout so that I have some continuity again where it's repeated somewhere else. But I just thought they looked really cute, and I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I'm also going to use more of those black puffy letters on the right hand side. I'm going to use the word smile, and then I'm using some arrows and some of the hearts. I think that's going to work really well. There is some black, not really any black in the original class album, but I am pulling it in here and there throughout the rest of the album. So it's going to mix well, I think, and I'm just going to make sure I use more of them somewhere else again. So repetition is key, I guess. I do like these little arrows. I don't want to say I'm not a whimsical kind of a person, because I can be, but I don't normally tilt things on my layouts a whole lot. But I thought I would be a little whimsical today, you guys. That's all there is to it. So the word moments, I didn't lay it down straight, and that's okay. I did fit my little teaching word nestled in between the top of the M and the T, and then I just tucked a little heart in there. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing with the word smile over on the right hand side, and then I'm going to use these arrows, and that's a little bit more whimsical than I normally go, but I am going to do it, and I like the way that it comes out. So that is the important part, right? As long as you like it, then you're good. You're golden. So I'm not really sure where I'm putting all of these hearts. I'm just kind of playing around with that at the moment. And then those little green labels, they came from the Heidi Swap Art Walk sticker sheet, the 6x12 sticker sheet. So I've pulled a little bit of that in as well because it's very tropical kind of feeling and mixed media-ish. And I don't know why I say ish. It is definitely mixed media kind of a feel to it because most of the papers have like a mixed media vibe. And I just think they go really well. So I'm going to leave that little arrow pointing at MK's smiling face, and then I'm going to ink up all the way around the outside of my edges with a little bit of pumice stone. I'm not inking the center where the two pages come together, but I'm inking all the way around the outside of the double page. And that is pretty much going to be it, you guys. You're going to see that I did my journaling already. It's in the close-ups there, and I am pretty happy with the way that that came out. And if you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below. As always, I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I do know that 30 days of sketches is going on currently. I will probably join in later in the month here and there, but I'm not doing every day. I am just going to do it when I feel inspired. So not that I'm not inspired by the sketches. I just I started off doing my layouts without even looking, and when I get to it, I will. That is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Come back and see me again later in the week. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Bye bye.